6, I told you that I'm making checks for 20 grand, 40 grand, 70 grand, and over $100,000, and that my company has produced millions of dollars in revenue over the last several years. I think it should be fairly obvious, but I'll say it anyway. My results are not even remotely typical. It took me years of study and work to figure this stuff out and to master this process. And while I can give you a massive shortcut today, you will ultimately have to put in the required time and work. And while I hope that you surpass my levels of success as a handful of my students actually have, I'm not going to remotely suggest or claim that you're going to make a dime because I don't have control over your decisions and actions. Following our theme of honesty and transparency today, we both know that the vast majority of people who watch or buy training materials of any kind will never get any results or make any money at all, just as most people who bought a treadmill have it sitting in the corner as a clothes rack. They want the end result, but at the end of the day, they're simply not willing to put in the time or work to make it happen. The ones who do get the reward. All right, so if you're still with me here after that little rant, let's dive in and get to work. Step 1. How to create a 7-figure motivated seller machine. So right now, I'm going to show you how to create a motivated seller machine that has the ability to generate $1 million or more worth of real estate deals per year. So let's start by defining what this machine looks like and what features it must contain. In essence, you can think of it as the perfect lead generation machine. It works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. It never gets tired. It sifts out motivated sellers every single time, and it can locate an infinite number of sellers in any market. It has the ability to take a complete stranger and provide them with all the information they need in order to make a decision to contact you for help at that moment in time. It answers and addresses all of their questions or objections for you so you don't have to. And finally, it has the ability to follow up with sellers at exactly the right time and get deal after deal. So what's really important here is that a 7-figure motivated seller machine, your deal machine if you will, is completely automated. It never requires your personal participation at any time once it's set up and tuned in. And that's the key, because that means it's infinitely scalable. And that scalability is the difference between you making 30 grand a year and $1 million. It's why real estate investors, agents, and anyone else in the real estate space have a ceiling on their income. The lead generation process requires their personal participation. Back when I made this realization, I had a very different motivation that inspired me to start figuring this process out. By the time I was getting out of the military, I knew that I wanted to work for myself. There was just no way that I was willing to let someone else dictate when I had to work and how much I could make for the rest of my life. So I started to explore all kinds of different business opportunities. But no matter what I did, I always ran into the same problem. In order to make money, you had to eventually sell something to someone or have a ton of money to invest in something, which I wasn't in a position to do either. I found real estate and I heard about no money down investing and I thought, yeah, I can do this. I started marketing like the courses told me to do. I'd drive my car around at night, posting bandit signs, hoping that nobody would see me. I'd go into places of business and when nobody was looking, because it's embarrassing, I'd put flyers on bulletin boards. I'd spend hours driving around looking for junky old abandoned houses. You know, all the methods that are supposed to work. The end result was scratching out 1 or 2 deals over an entire year and maybe making 20K. And basically ending up still broke and frustrated. I couldn't figure out why other people could take the exact same strategies and do countless deals and make hundreds of thousands or more per year while I couldn't make anything, especially after years of trying to figure out every single thing they suggested. I'd constantly have to fight back that thought that I'm just not cut out for this, that I just don't have what it takes. And if you've ever felt like this as well, there's a reason. There's a difference between doing what you're told to do and doing what actually works. So don't be too hard on yourself because your current lack of results is not your fault. Now, if you've ever felt like that or feel like that right now, it's okay. You are not alone. And the good news is there is a way out. What I'm about to show you is not common knowledge. You have to seek it out. which is what you've done here today, and you'll be glad you did. Here's how I figured it out. I fell back on my Special Forces training. I had the training and experience. I just needed to implement it. So I dove in and I used my Special Forces background to develop a plan of action, a success plan, an operations plan. I started looking at what local businesses were doing to get leads. How are they attracting customers and clients? After all, real estate investing is actually a local business, local to the market that the house is in. So digging in, I learned some very surprising statistics about how the most successful businesses were doing their marketing. And finally, in 4 years, after years of scratching around, making peanuts in real estate, but never giving up, I began implementing my new plan. Within a few months, I had acquired 9 new deals and made some good-sized checks for the very first time. I knew I had unlocked the secret to success in real estate investing. I stayed focused and kept refining the system over the next 7 months. And in 2006, I had my very first $1 million year in real estate, business, and in my life. I had found something that would change my life forever. I discovered the concept of inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is a type of marketing designed to find people who are looking for a solution and ready to take action automatically. I realized that doing all that outbound marketing methods, simply chasing people around, hoping to find a motivated seller somewhere, it's what everyone else is doing with all those typical marketing methods being taught. So I bought every book and marketing course on inbound marketing I could find, and I started developing my system. I turned it on and I started refining it. I knew I had figured out the formula when I received 2,529 prospective leads in only 60 days. And this is a picture of that result right here. It shows the number of people who visited my leads page over a 60-day period. Here's another account, and after we got it tuned in, we were getting 20 to 30 prospective leads a day to this landing page. Within a few months, I was doing multiple deals every single month, cashing multiple checks. I'd done it. I'd figured out a way to beat the competition in any market, and I never had to worry about how to make a living again. My life would never be the same, and once you acquire this skill set, the same will be true for you. So, what's the secret? How can you get the attention of a stranger, inform, educate, and inspire them to reach out to you for help and ask you to buy their house a few minutes later? Well, it's the internet. Where do you go when you need a solution, an answer? Do you drive around looking for signs on poles? Do you go to the store and search bulletin boards? No. You open up your laptop or you pick up your phone and you search Google. Everyone is now 100% trained to find solutions this way. Whether they're 25 or 75, they are on the internet searching for a solution whenever they have a problem. What do you do when you need a restaurant, a dentist, a car repair shop? Of course, you pull out your phone and you search. Let me be very clear. This is not about putting up a website, using Craigslist or Facebook or any of that other stuff. This is how to be smack in the face of a motivated seller when they search Google for a solution to their problem house. Let me show you. When a seller's motivated, they are feeling a ton of stress and anxiety. They simply need a solution. They may be at work or home talking with their spouse, or even wake up in the middle of the night, desperate for a solution. Do you know what they do? Well, what do you do when you need an answer or a solution? They pick up their laptop or their phone and they go right to Google and they start typing. They type in what are called keywords or search terms right into Google. Terms like how to sell my house fast, sell my Denver house fast, investors who buy houses, and hundreds of other keywords that we've discovered that they use. This is the first step. What happens next is the magical part. What do they see? They see search results that look like this. You know what happens next? They start reading those top few results, and then they start clicking. They click on the one that's most appealing. Do you know where that click takes them? That search takes them to a web page connected with that search result. I'm going to teach you how to be in that top set of results so they click on your search result and find you as a solution. Once that happens, they either call you or fill out a form on your webpage, then you immediately get notified of a new lead. There's a massive difference here between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. With outbound marketing, potential sellers see you as Sneaky Sam, chasing them around with signs and letters and even knocking on their door. They feel like you're preying on them. This causes them to immediately shut down and not feel comfortable. With inbound marketing, the motivated seller searches for you when they are ready, motivated, eager to get a solution to their problem, the problem house that's driving them nuts. When they find you, they see you as a legitimate solution, a real business that they can count on to help solve their problem. Can you see how different this is and why inbound marketing is the clear way to build a successful real estate investing business? Now, there are several ways to show up in these top results. I'm going to cover what the different ways are, then I'll teach you the fastest way, how to do it, and how to avoid doing it the wrong way, like nearly every other investor who tries it. Here's the thing to watch out for. Most every single investor who tried to figure this out misses 3 critical points. Missing these points causes them to fail, so they never show up in the results. I'm going to show you our proven process so you know exactly how to do it the right way, so you can show up in the top results, get sellers to your contact page, and start getting hot, motivated seller leads and start closing deals. Sound good? Let's take a look at how a Google search result page is set up. When somebody does a search of any kind, there are several types of results. At the top are paid ads, called Google Ads. Under those are what we call organic listings, also known as SEO or search engine optimization, and are based on many different factors. Organic listings are very powerful, but also very complicated and can take a long time, months, to get positioned. Now, the paid ads can be very effective and very fast to get results. The beauty of the paid ads is you can target exactly who sees them, what city, what county, even which zip codes. Another awesome thing is that you never actually pay for ads unless someone clicks through and visits your landing page. I know I keep mentioning web page, and this may start to feel technical for you. I'd like you to forget about that and not be concerned about a web page if you don't have one or think this may be too technical. I'll show you how that's not an issue. Now that you know how the search works, let's take a look at just how powerful this is. Here's a few search terms I pulled up using a Google tool to show you the incredible amount of motivated sellers looking for help. It'll help you get an understanding of how massive this opportunity is to be in front of these sellers when they search. Now, take a look. Sell my house fast. Almost 500,000 or 500,000 searches every single month. Sell my house to an investor. Almost 30,000 searches a month. Sell my house fast. 1.2 million people type in every single month, sell my house fast. Sell my house without an agent. 500,000 people a month. Sell my house by owner. 2.25 million people. Wow. Here's another one. How to stop foreclosure. Over 300,000 people every single month type in how to stop foreclosure. And finally, someone to take over house payments. Can you say subject to? 50,000 people every single month type this in. Now, you can see how many people are searching these terms. Let me show you how powerful this is when you set it up the motivated seller machine way and turn it on. This is one of our markets. You can see page after page of top rankings for all of these motivated seller keywords. We hit these over and over. Cash for houses, I buy houses, selling a house as is, sell house fast, fast home sale, on and on and on. Sell this house, I buy houses. So we rank for all of these terms at the top of Google. What happens? The result? Those motivated sellers call me or fill out a form on my webpage, and I get notified immediately, hey, you got another motivated seller lead. Check this out. This always makes me smile whenever I do this in a new market. Now, I lived in Idaho around the middle of 2018 for a few months. I told you I've moved 8 times in the past 5 years. I fired up a motivated seller machine there, and I got the results that I knew I'd get. I always do. Lead after lead, call after call. These are the voicemails on my phone. Voicemails. These don't include all the calls that I actually answered. Check out this case study. Now, this is when I lived in Seattle, and a perfect example of how this system scoops up motivated sellers who aren't even on the radar for anything. No vacant house list, no probate, no foreclosure. It makes very clear how a seller looks for help and finds us. Then we get the deal. The house is in North Seattle. I remember it very well because the house had a red roof and also had an easement, so the two houses could actually share the driveway. I thought that was really weird. This house wasn't in foreclosure, wasn't in probate, wasn't listed as vacant, none of the typical houses investors are taught to go after, so it wasn't on any of the lists that investors use. Now, the seller did a Google search to find a solution to sell his house quickly. He found me listed in the results and called me. I was the only person he contacted. Imagine that. Zero competition. I went and looked at the house and made a cash offer of $127,000. Guess what? At that time, I didn't have $127,000. So what did I do? See, I hear investors all the time, but I can't offer cash because I don't have it. That's bull, and I'll tell you why. When you have a good deal lined up, money is everywhere. I actually asked around and quickly found another firefighter who was willing to loan me the $127,000. People love to make more than the lame interest they're making on investments, so they're happy to loan you money for deals. I spent one day cleaning it up, pulled an old green rug out of the living room, wiped down the kitchen and swept the floors, and yes, I swept that eased driveway. We put the house on the market, had it sold in 1 week. My profit for one day's work, $23,000. No competition, no hassle, just another easy deal where the seller found me. I hope you're starting to see why this is the future of marketing for motivated seller leads. There's nothing quite like it. The reason I've been able to make this work is I don't follow the herd when it comes to using this type of system. Whoever tries to figure this out always seems to miss the 3 critical parts that I've figured out, so I always win. I'm going to show you those 3 critical parts as we go through the steps. All right, let's dig into the steps. One quick reminder before we do. Remember, you don't need to have a website right now. I'll show you what to do. Also, you can get results very fast. You can turn it on or off at any time. You can laser target any market. You can scale this as big as you want. Okay, really important. Do not grab parts of this training and try to make it work. It won't. Watch the entire training. There are 3 very specific things I'll teach you that will beat your competitors. All right, let's go to step 1 of this system. But I want to remind you, if this seems technical for you, and as I'm going through the steps, you think, whoa, I'll never be able to do all this, I'm going to ask you to put that thought on the shelf until I finish, because I have the solution for those of you who are not techie at all or don't have time to set this up. You do not need any technical skill or marketing experience to do this. Okay, now that we have that covered, here's step 1 of our motivated seller machine setup. The first step is to create a Google account. Now, since this is all done using Google, the first thing we need to do is create a Google account. It's pretty straightforward. Just go to Google and select the new account button and follow the instructions there. You'll create a new account and be ready for step 2. Now, make sure to save your new account email, address, and password. If you have an existing Google account, totally fine to use that. Step 2, we need to create a Google Ads account. The Google Ads account is where we set everything up. It manages all of the campaigns and ads and provides the interface so we can see all of our stats, the number of clicks, and so on. Once you have the Google account you created in the previous step and are logged in, just go to ads.google.com and click the start button on the page. The next thing we need to do, this is critical, we need to develop a keyword list. Now, here we deviate a little bit from where the Google Ads setup instructs us to go. It's one thing I've learned to do differently that gets much better results. You're going to create a keyword list. Remember how people search different keywords? Sell my house fast, how to sell my house for cash, investors who buy houses, and so on. Well, we need to create our own list. To get to the keyword planner while logged into your new Google account, just do a search on Google Keyword Planner. You'll find the link to the planner in the results. Now, once you're on the planner, You'll create a keyword list using terms sellers would use to search Google when they desperately want to sell their house fast. The more relevant terms you can find, the better. We have hundreds and hundreds that we've developed and discovered to work over the years. After you create your keyword list, step 4, you need to group your keyword list into themes, what I call themes. Now, you're going to take that keyword list and break it down into themes like sell by owner, sell fast, sell without agent, sell for cash, and so on. If you want, you can also dive into the keyword themes like stop foreclosure or probate if you're in those markets. The system works very well for that too. Now, set these keywords aside in a safe place because you'll need them here in a couple of steps. Next, you're going to choose a campaign name. So after you create your Google keywords, you'll come back to the Google Ads page and choose a campaign name. Select website traffic as the campaign type, then choose something like motivated seller for the name of your campaign. If you're going to focus on the foreclosure market, choose a name like Stop Foreclosure. And if you plan to do more than one market, you may choose something like Motivated Seller Denver, then another campaign, maybe Motivated Seller Boulder, and so on. We create different campaigns based on a market because the location targeting, which I'll cover next, and it's at the campaign level. Step 6, you're going to choose your location. Now, the next step is to select your target area. During this step, you can choose your target area by state, city, county, even specific zip codes. The great thing about this is your ads will only be shown to people in your target market. If your target market is Houston, you don't want motivated sellers in Seattle seeing your ads because it simply isn't where you do business. This is one of the super cool things about this system, laser targeting a specific market of your choice. Now, in step 7, once you get your market selected, you're going to create your ad groups. Ad groups will contain your keywords and your ads. For example, an ad group named Sell My House Fast would contain the keywords associated with Sell My House Fast and ads related to Sell My House Fast. You probably wouldn't want an ad that said Stop Foreclosure in a Sell My House Fast ad group. It just doesn't match. We'll dig more into this in the keywords and ad steps coming up next. Step 8, add your keywords. Now you're going to add your keywords into the related ad groups like I mentioned. Now can you see why we create themes for our keywords? It makes it much easier to batch them into ad group themes that makes sense. And also to create our ads that match our keywords. I'll explain why this is all relevant shortly. You can certainly add more than one keyword into an ad group. Just make sure it's themed correctly. There's a better way which I'll cover in a little bit, but for now it's what most people end up doing. Now, step 9, create ads. And I like you to create 2 ads for each ad group so you can split test them. This is where we really get some traction. Your ad is what sellers see when they type in your keywords. Your ad must be compelling. This is very important. If your ad fails to convey what the seller's looking for, they simply won't click on it. This is another reason why we create themes. If a seller searches the term, how to sell my house fast, and your ad pops up, but it happens to say, we deal with houses in probate, it isn't a fit. So there's little chance you're going to get any leads that way. With the ads, we have the opportunity to put 3 headlines of 30 characters each and 2 descriptions. It's actually quite a bit of space. However, your ad copy must be good. It must cause that seller to want to take action and learn more. Now, in these example ads I made for you, you can see how I matched up the headline and the keyword. See how the keyword is sell my house fast? And the first headline of the ad is how to sell my house fast. This creates a connection for the seller. They type sell my house fast into Google and my ad says how to sell my house fast. It's an instant mental match. The seller thinks, this is just what I'm looking for. And they click on the ad. Boom, another prospective lead. Now, the rest of the headlines must also be compelling. Each and every word is a chance to get that seller to click on your ad. After the first headline, it says, local company buys house cash. Do you see what I did there? Local company immediately brings trust into the scenario. People don't want to deal with some big conglomerate who they feel will take advantage. This is where the local company comes in. Also, buys houses cash. This is very powerful to use. And like I showed you on that case study earlier, even if you don't have cash, you can get it very quickly when you have a deal signed up. It's everywhere. I also mentioned get a fast, fair offer. Again, bringing trust. Everybody wants a fair offer. And of course, they're looking for a fast solution. In the description, you can see some reiteration of the points I mentioned, but I also put a seed in their mind. Why waste time trying to sell by owner or with an agent when we can buy within days? You want to get them shaking their heads with a, yeah, that's right. That would take forever. And then click on your ad. Your ads are the backbone of your advertising, so they should be well thought out. We've developed many different highly effective ads over the years, fine-tuning this system. Now, step number 10, add your billing info. Okay, you're almost ready to go. Now it's time to add your billing info into Google Ads. Here are a couple things to remember. You can turn this system on or off at any time. If your campaigns are off, your ads will not show and you will not be billed for any clicks. You can choose how much you want to spend, whether that's $10 a day, getting started, or $100 a day because you scaled up and are closing deals every single month. You control it 100%. Your ads will only show up in the locations you choose. That way you're only paying for clicks in your own market. And once the system is set up, it's always there for you. Turn it off or on whenever you want. You can turn it off for 2 or 3 months and then turn it on and be right back in the game. So you're now in possession of the 10-step formula that I've used over and over again to make over $7 million in my business over the past years. But we're not done yet. Now, as I'm sure you remember, this formula is only one of 2 components we need to create your 7-figure motivated seller machine. The first is our Google Ads initial account setup. The second is adding my special twist to the system that's allowed me to beat competitors over and over and get super cheap leads compared to everyone else, resulting in a consistent flow of deals. Now that we have the initial setup done, it's time for my special twist. This is what truly creates the results. This is how we beat out all the competition and have all of the top ranking ads like I showed you earlier. Here's another reminder. Right now, most of you are probably thinking, okay, this is crazy. I'll never be able to do all of this. Remember, I stated earlier, I'll show you how to get this done easily, even if you're not techie at all. Anyone can do this. Now, we need to add the twist. The setup we just went through will get your account set up and running. What I want to do now is show you how you can beat the competition in your market who may also be using Google Ads. Welcome to part 2, beating the competition by using the twist. In this section, you're going to learn how to win at the ads game by using the twist I discovered. This will move you from right in the middle of the pack, trying to compete with everyone else by constantly bidding higher and higher, to rising to the top of the pack and only paying a fraction per click that everybody else is paying. Here's a quick example. This is a brand new account and already starting to get clicks in just a couple of days. You can see that the average cost per click is only $3. Do you know that many people trying to figure out Google Ads are paying $10, $15, $20 or more for just a single click? It's nuts. Well, using the twist, you won't have to compete and your cost per click will be very low. What would you rather pay for a prospective lead? $3 or $23? Yeah, me too. Okay, the twist is all about relevance. See, Google wants a high quality user experience, and I'll show you the formula that they go by. In this formula, we see that Google is all about quality score. This is why I showed you how to theme your ads and keywords with your ad groups. See, most people, when they try to make this work, they simply get a handful of keywords, maybe 1 or 2 ads, and then mash them all together and hit go. Looking at the diagram, here's where that goes wrong. What's important are your keywords' relevancy as compared to your ad relevance, like I shared before. If your keyword is stop foreclosure and your ad says we buy houses in probate, that will create a lower quality score. So your click-through rate will go down and your click cost will go up. See how that works? Now, however, if your keyword is buy my house cash and your ad says buy my house cash and your landing page talks about buying their house cash, you have a magical recipe and your quality score goes way up and your click costs go way down. Google shows your ad more because they want the best user experience. You also pay much less per click, so you actually pay less but outrank your competition. It's pretty dang cool. Now, the twist has two parts. Step one is using deeper keywords. Now, most people just grab a handful of major keywords like I buy houses, sell my house, cash for houses. These are fine, but everybody is bidding on them. When you go deep, you find words like how to sell my house fast for cash or investors who buy houses in Denver. See the difference? We call these long tail keywords and they work magic. The competition doesn't even have a clue. Now, step two is what we call single keyword ad groups. The second part is to separate every similar keyword into its own ad group. This means instead of having 5 to 10 or more keywords, whether they're themed together or not, into one ad group with 1 or 2 ads, you have exactly themed keywords into each group, specific keywords, and at least 2 ads for every one ad group. So keywords like buy my house cash would be the only type of keywords in the ad group and have at least 2 ads in that ad group related to buy my house cash. This is the key to success with Google Ads. One ad group, specific keywords, and at least 2 ads. You can see on our latest account, we have over 3,000 specific keywords and over 2,500 unique ads. The one thing you need to be sure of here is not using the same keywords as everyone else. Use the deeper keywords I mentioned. Another important key is having enough of the right keywords. 10 or 20 or 30 simply will not work. That's what everybody else does. Over the years, we've developed literally hundreds of keyword terms that work very well, which means we have hundreds and even thousands of ads. Yes, thousands of unique custom ads. This is how we beat the competition over and over. Let me show you something. This is one of our accounts. Now, the amount spent may blow your mind a little, but remember, I've been doing this for some time and it's all about ROI, return on investment. If you pay $10 into something and get $20 or $30 or $100 back, that's something I'll keep doing over and over, and I know you would too. With this account, you can see we've had over 146,000 clicks or prospective leads. What I really want you to see is the average cost per click. Just over $3. Remember, when I told you that everyone else is paying $10, $15, $20 or more for a single click, not us. And not you when you do it the way that I've shown you and then I'll show you now. I show you this because I want you to know that this system works. I want you to write this down and repeat after me. There is no such thing as a motivated seller problem. There is only a marketing problem. Here's what that means. See, most every investor struggles because they think there are no motivated sellers, when in fact, there are more than you could ever handle in most any market. The simple fact is, they just don't know how to find them, or should I say, have them find us. Now you have that solution. So, what if you knew how to do this? Can you see how you're just one single Google Ads campaign away from changing your life forever? Well, it's possible. You've just seen with your own eyes that you can create a simple, automated, motivated seller machine that can make your business hundreds of thousands